Power 365 Directory Sync allows you to migrate Active Directory objects one-way or two-way from one local AD environment to another, from local to an Azure AD cloud environment, between two Azure cloud environments, or whatever combination meets your need. A wizard will guide you step by step through all the building blocks of a successful Power 365 Directory Sync migration project. Our first building block is the environment. An environment is either local Active Directory or an Azure Cloud Environment Active Directory. The scope of a local environment can be scoped to specific OUs and can be filtered to include only selected objects. You can also choose password sync options for a local environment. The scope of a cloud environment can be limited to specific groups. We need at least two environments to get started. For local environments, our next building block is an agent. This is software that will be installed in local environments to communicate with Power 365 Directory Sync. It will also monitor password changes if you chose to sync passwords. Our next block will be a template. A template is a set of configurations that you can reuse for many different projects. You can make a variety of templates to fit a variety of projects. What's in a template? Configuration choices, such as the status for newly created users, and mappings, which determine the target destination for attribute values from the source. Now that we have those components, the final building block in any migration process is the workflow. A workflow contains all of the instructions for the migration project. It includes your choice of previously created environments, a schedule as to when and how this workflow should run. Optionally, you can create and then choose alerts to notify you of successful completion of a workflow run. But the most important part is the creation of workflow steps. There will be at least 4 workflow steps in a successful workflow. The first is called Read From. This is where you choose all of the environments that will be part of the project. This includes both source and destination environments, as information about the objects and their attributes must be entered into the Power 365 Directory Sync database. This allows for matching and comparison of existing objects. The Match Object step is where you guide Power 365 Directory Sync to successfully identify any existing matches between environments. You choose the attributes to match on. Stage Data is the configuration step for each one-to-one migration path. We'll ask you for one of the templates that you have created. You'll choose your source environment, your target, and your target domain. You can choose your source OUs. Keep in mind that your choices will be limited based on the environment. If you didn't include them in the environment, you can't add them here. If you'd like, you can add filters here to narrow down the subset of objects that should be included in the workflow. You can create specific, granular queries so that you get only the objects that you want. You'll choose your destination OUs in the target. Now that you've chosen your data subset from the Power 365 database, we need a place to put it when the workflow runs. This last required step is the Write To step. Tell Power 365 Directory Sync where to place any newly created objects or where to delete or update existing objects. An optional step would be to have Power 365 Directory Sync run a PowerShell script that you've created each time the workflow runs. Just be sure to test your script in a non-production environment. So the big picture has environments, local agents, templates, and workflows. Stack them up and you're ready for a successful migration project.